BWC. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Osu Beat Mapping World Cup today. We are here, the three of us. I'm Noffy, and it's good to see y'all. Hello everybody.
I guess fieryrage is dead, but yeah, I'm Halfslashed. Good to see y'all.
Bro, I told you prior to this that I'm gonna be dead. Hello,
yeah, but you didn't tell them, man.
Hello, I am fieryrage. I am currently 3 days under a sickness, in case it wasn't painfully obvious. My throat is on fire. Nonetheless, I am here. I am going to have fun, probably. Most likely not. We'll find out.
So that being said, fieryrage has the plague. I hope everybody's doing well today. And we're going to be going through basically all of the entries today. We will be going through roughly the bracket order, and we will be checking out kind of your predictions, what you guys think, who's gonna win, how the maps are gonna turn out, and you know, the better your guesses are, the better off you are. So let's check that out. We're gonna go ahead and check out some team info to get us started here today. So our first matchup is China and South Korea here. So we got China's team with Astral Cynicism, Superbox, X-Lite, Mario Kartia, Sojuku, and Paleotalk. So that is our China team. And we're gonna go ahead and check out our South Korea lineup. We got a pretty strong team here with Byeon-san, Asilia, Miller, and Taeyang. So this is our first matchup of the day, so...
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna say, I don't know if I'm getting... okay, no, I'm definitely ancient at this point, but, yeah, I don't know anyone from the China team, and I know everyone from the South Korea team, so, that is quite the, I'll be surprised to see which one is actually China. Generally, South Korea's mappers, like this team is, they're very experienced in general, good with just sharp aesthetics, and just kind of like, it's pretty obvious what their maps tend to do. And then there's Asilica, which is the, you know, like the, I say creative genius, at least from standing out here, but solid overall. So I can't pick favorites, but I do know the South Koreans mappers more, so
you know, it's kind of your job to pick favorites and try to guess who comes out on top here.
Oh well, it seems like other people seem to agree. They don't know so it looks like the underdog Chinese team are the underdogs basically. So
what's everybody in chat thinking on this one?
I'm thinking I want to see the maps.
This is true, and we will be checking out both entries before we even get to the results of who came out on top. So I hope y'all enjoy the maps. We got a pretty good variety of songs picked out today. Some of them do play a lot in order, so be ready for that. And I hope y'all can appreciate. Let's start off with China's entry here.
That's better than the qualifiers where we have like 2 songs that people chose, so. Once again, thank you to the Laser client for the incredible hit sound desync. For those that are questioning why that happened.
We promise all of the maps are timed correctly in game.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, overall, pretty simple entry. I remember looking at this, and kind of noting that, about what you'd expect, I guess, on a song like this. Just out of the 3 songs, this was probably the least complicated, like, to follow. There's a couple tricks just with Murioko P's songs in general. I find that the entries, generally the songs play a lot better towards having like some exaggerated pauses and working them into your map tends to be what trips people up. Because this entry overall pretty solid, but it is on the standard side in terms of it doesn't do much with sort of the like pausing that kind of gets introduced by a lot of the instruments. So. Ish, basically.
I'm personally a pretty big fan of how I would say this song is a little bit into the chaotic side, especially in this piano solo, but they made this entry super hyper organized, which is an interesting way to handle it.
Yeah, they got a couple tricks here and there. Just like on one hand, like on the average, the map is like, I'd say on the safe standard side, and then it's like it just pops off sometimes with like those zigzags, for example. Pretty nice to see that happening through circles. You guys probably know I'm a circle fanatic, so.
Holy diff spike.
Yeah,
that flowing pattern is crazy. What happened there?
Guitar solo
What is going on here?
You notice this in a lot of them, actually. A lot of the entries where they would start off as like, oh wow, this is like, you know, in-game terms, like piss low for half the map, and then it starts to just ramp up like crazy. Definitely would not have this in a tournament, for sure.
For sure. Now, with that being said, we're gonna check out South Korea's entry on this map. I mean, this song, excuse me. And it's always interesting wondering how much of those difficulty scalings do come from the fact that these are collaborated entries. So is it like, did they really think that the song increased that much, or was it just one guy going ham kind of deal?
Yeah, especially like that's a relatively large team too. So. Yeah, so this is just like in terms of the fundamentals, I'd say they South Korea is kind of demonstrating their expertise on this. Just in general, I wouldn't say it's a like a completely different thing than from what the Chinese team tried, but you can just see a lot better execution, especially when it comes to like some of these jumps between sliders and such. Those little details, I think, that really set it apart. It's a little sharper on some of the design choices, I'd say too, but nothing too crazy going on here. It's just overall solid execution through and through.
This color hex is really nice, honestly.
I really like it when they have the like super big finish sliders to be orange. That is fun.
Yeah, I mean, they're also copy and pasted rotated as well, which helps make them stand out a bit more. I don't think you would have noticed that if they weren't color-coded the same way, I think. It's a very nice draw there.
Yeah, I think I like with this one, just in general, it plays with those pauses I was talking about earlier. Like, it plays with those moments in the song a lot better. So that's good. Very tasteful execution of the 1/3 section. I don't know, represents the song pretty well. Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know when it started to change, but like, it used to be that when contests came about, they were just kind of unplayable. And nowadays it's like, I look at this map and it's like, wow, people will play this. Like, this is like a map that people would actually play, I guess.
I can get a solid 60%
to be frank,
this.
even the unplayable maps, I think, are playable for a lot of people now. Malashevsky would get a kick out of most of them, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Player
yeah,
skill
thanks
range
for
is
reminding me.
crazy. So that was China and South Korea's entries. So with that being said, how did they turn out? Well, congratulations to South Korea on this one. They got 6 points. China got 1 point here. We got our judge vouching for everybody.
Yeah. Unsurprising to me. I was very impressed in particular with the courses with South Korea. So like they kind of knocked it out of the park. Very solid entry overall. Had lots of creative stuff mixed with it. It was just good entry. Yeah.
Everybody's predictions was pretty spot on for this one, I would say. I really ended up enjoying both maps, but it was really great to kind of see how that song came through here. So great work, and South Korea will be going on to the next round. So that being said, the next matchup is Canada and Spain. So we got our Team Canada here. We got Arcusol team. Relatively tighter team. I don't know too many of these mappers personally, but I'm excited to see what they kind of put out for this too.
Yeah, I'm also kind of on the boat of I don't know who these people are.
J1,
I know J1. J1 was famous like even 6 years ago, just like took the scene by storm or whatever. But do not know any of the other mappers. I think I've seen Vacuous actually.
Vacuous, yes. And then we'll check out, they're up against Spain. So we got Tsukioka Kogane's team.
Yes, similar deal here. Don't recognize any of the names except other than Celeba Vladimir. Actually, he's made quite a few maps I've really liked in the past, so yeah.
So, these
whoa.
pick'ems are a little bit biased. Do you guys think they're onto something? I think we could go for more 50-50 on this one.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. It's a complete toss-up for me.
Well, at least as far as the pre-round pick'ems went, 81% feel like it might be Canada. I feel like there's good chances for Spain too. I'm excited to see these kind of entries. We will be checking out both of them again, and we will be starting with Spain because that's just the order my live stream manager is in. So let's see the map. So already we ended up with another new song here today. Kind of get to see how they approached the pretty dense introduction. All things considered.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The fact that they matched that slider to the background was really cute though.
I didn't even notice that.
It was awesome.
Yeah, this one, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these entries, they were a little hard to distinguish from one another, so I'm just like, which one exists specifically? This one kind of goes,
what in the world am I looking at?
Or whatever, and this is exactly what I expected from that style. Yeah, it kind of goes, does a lot with, density in general. I remember that in general it goes really hard on just the weighing parts. The design is about average for what I expect in a contest. Nothing anything spectacular that draws my eye in particular.
Some parts of this map makes me think that they wanted variable CS. That's why.
I feel like that's just a general mapping trend. They all want variable CS. Like, they map that way.
There's a lot of really, really, really tricky bursts in 1/4 of this one. Oh my god.
Oh god, sliderator goes crazy.
These sliders are crazy.
Yeah, so you know how you were just talking about Maladusky earlier? Like, yeah, this one's for him. Like, I'd say South Korea map is just like, oh yeah, more people than Maladusky play. This is like, you need to step up.
This is an unranked taquito hidden god mode map, if I'm being honest.
I could see
Holy
it!
crap.
I want to see it!
that.
I want to see that
Oh,
play!
man.
That sounds so
Clip farm map.
exciting!
Yeah. In some ways, it's really good for a song like this. But yeah, it's okay.
It's super expressive for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to correct what I said a little bit on what is standing out. I think, for me, the highlight is some of these straight edge slider designs, I guess. I'm not sure if I would agree on the use of like how slider leniency gets abused on all of them, but it certainly is interesting.
Good
So.
mod map to play on Classic mod.
Yeah.
And next up, we'll be checking out Canada's entry.
That is literally just ripped straight from that Freedom Dive map, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. I love going to Saturn.
Saturn's a cool planet. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Overrated.
are you more of a Neptune enjoyer or what?
Mercury needs more representation, in my opinion.
I'm enjoying the visual structure on this one, although I can't weigh in
Okay.
that hard on the gameplay.
Yeah. I might just skip the gameplay. So this is like, all right. I'd say if you they're using different approaches. Spain versus Canada here. Canada is leaning way more into spectacle, and then I guess kind of like a middle ground with Spain. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rooting more for Spain, even if the crowd disagrees. But I just think that's a better map. This one, yeah, I don't see people playing this.
I mean, that beginning didn't seem awful to play. It was hard, but I don't necessarily
Really
think it was
hard.
like.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I could be eating my own words, and there's just going to be like a completely unplayable section in like
Oh,
the next
Saturn's back.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the spectacle part's coming from the difficulty. It's just more of like, I'd say it's a lot more heavy focus on like the design of the slider shapes.
And the stream shapes,
as
too.
opposed to the play experience. That's all. So it's just like you'll get kind of more nothing burger even if it's easy.
Okay, yeah, this section's kind of
Yeah, it's hard. Which
Yeah,
is
it's
fair.
hard.
This is like the pinnacle of like getting to map a song like this.
They spelled out the letter P or something. I don't know. It was just they were speaking to us. I just don't know what they were trying to say.
They're trying to tell us something. They're trying to tell us that it's supposed to be for PP.
PP. There's PP all over this map. You're right. You're right.
I'm
That's what
not.
that spike was for.
Oh. That was a really nice way to close it out. So that was Team Canada's entry, and I think there was some similar vibes between the two of them, but they did stand pretty distinctly overall. Now let's check out the score here. So who's gonna come out on top? Well, this one did end up in Canada's favor today. So Spain did pretty good getting 2 points. Canada leveled out with some 5. So congratulations to Canada for continuing into the next round. Make sure to check out both of their maps though when you got the time to play them too.
Yep.
This is
Don't have too much
definitely
to say
one.
on that. It plays towards what I kind of expect. Yeah, but yeah, I do like Spain's entry more still.
I did enjoy Spain's entry a lot. But that being said, the judges have spoken. They have chosen their favorites. And next up, we will be checking out Taiwan and Thailand's matchup. So, start off here today, we got Taiwan led by +4J, also known as Hey Lulu. We got a pretty fleshed out team here for this group, including some people I've seen in the chat today. So, good to see y'all. And then in Thailand's team, we got ourselves Type 4's team with Bonrai, Chest, Om002, Ryberynth, and Quantum Vortex as well. So, that being said, sometimes you gotta pick. Who do you think? Honestly, let me know. Let us know.
This is gonna be Taiwan though. Like,
Here's how the pick'ems turned out so far, but
ooh, closer.
yeah, it's getting closer here. It's heating up on this one.
Yeah, Taiwan in general has a lot more veteran names like Hey Lulu, Flask. I've seen them around for quite a long time. Nainami, I guess, came up a lot in the past like 5 years or something. So,
He's
yeah.
a very prominent tournament mapper now.
Yeah.
And Alti's been making a pretty strong showing lately too, but Thailand, oh my goodness, I am really
Thailand,
curious to see what
Type
these
4, I
teams
recognize Type
made.
4.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what these teams come up with, because they're not exactly teams I would expect to see together on a usual basis. So with that being said, I hope you guys like looking at circles, because we're going to look at some circles with Taiwan's entry here. Again, that's plus 4J, Matsuyuki, Flask, Imakura, Nainami, and Alti.
Well, you just lied to my face. The first 2 notes of this were sliders.
There's circles eventually.
We're in this song.
I can already see that this is lower AR than the other entries.
And smaller
Fitting the
circles.
lower place, yeah. Lower pace, rather.
Yeah, I think in general that was the trick with this song. There were some teams that just went way too hard in the intro, and just like anytime I see them, just like, oh god, that's like tanks execution, really hard. This one did a pretty good job of striking the balance, I remember.
And this one is definitely setting up the anticipation for where the song is going to go in the map later.
Yeah. Just in general, I'd say this was probably the hardest song in the map. It being like lower BPM than everything else, and just having a lot more contrast variation just like lends to that.
And now we get to head into the build up here. Which I really, really like what they did with the hit sounding in this part. Even if it's a little distinct.
That circle slider was funny.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I remember now. This was probably my favorite entry from looking at it. This is just like, it just does such a good job. It doesn't hit as hard with the actual like, I'd say the wub sliders, but it makes up for it with basically every other circle pattern. So. Like, how do you map tech without being quote-unquote tech or whatever? I don't know.
What were those
Why
hit
is there
sounds?
sands?
Guys, the
Anyone else see that
anime
question mark?
girl hit sound entry was not supposed to be inspiration. What was that, guys?
Don't hit down.
You got the creativity here, though. Thank you, Taiwan. That was good.
They know it's still Losu. Like.
And now here is where we can really start to see it pick up with some of the kick slider patterns and really tricky stack placements too. But they're still kind of building off, just slowly building up there in terms of their design.
Yeah, I don't know. Just really effective use of contrast. Just having lower movement through those sliders, then just like going nuts on the circle patterns in between. Just it's really good. This looks really fun to play.
That one was so cool. Now let's see
Yeah.
how Thailand's entry kind of shapes up against this one too.
Deadass, that looks like a Nomad 6 that most people would hate just because the AR is too low on it.
Skill issue.
True.
Oh yeah, that
Lower
map
the
also
AR
had
for
a...
contest, raise it for tournament. Trust.
Yeah,
Trust.
that's so true. That did also have a couple of nice references to the title of the song, though. I saw IX in particular and sliders at one point there, which was kind of cute.
Oh, that is really
Yeah,
cute.
it had question marks too. Like.
Now this entry is a lot more expressive and more organic kind of slider language. Now, Thailand was led by Type 4 here with a pretty big team. So kind of
Alright.
interesting to see how they all mesh together on this.
Yeah, my thing is with this, I just find just the amount of the slider usage and just like SV to be kind of overwhelming. Like it's like this stuff is mapped to the rhythm, but it's using a lot of like filler in between that kind of makes it seem like it's more intense than it is. Not exactly my taste, but you know, it is a style.
It's a really interesting pair of teams to set up against each other when they went for like extremely different approaches here.
Yeah. Now, I'd say this is probably the strong point of the entry. When those choruses hit, they hit. Like, this is what I expect from a song with this kind of crazy wubby stuff. Villamoto, yeah. This is what I want to see in a Villamoto song in the choruses, generally.
And those hit sounds, like lightly remixing the song too, were really great for supporting what they were working with.
I didn't even notice the hit sound, so I'm not much of a hit sound listener.
They added a whole new layer of synth to the song, so...
What? Okay.
like a little bit of new songs added into.
I love my remixing. Yeah, generally a pretty strong finish as well. Like I said, the strong parts of this entry, definitely the like choruses, the drops, etc., etc.
And those were two extremely interesting entries for Ix's Shadow, so let's kind of see how they weigh up against each other for the judges' scores. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I agree. I'm vindicated here.
That said, I still
Yeah,
need
it was
Team Thailand to release theirs as a remix. Taiwan, nice work on this one.
Yeah, that was again probably the best one for this song, in my opinion.
I really, really like Taiwan's entry, and I am curious to see what they're gonna do in the next round too. So that means we get to see more maps from them. So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, they're cooking.
Now, that being said, we're gonna go ahead and check out Indonesia versus Chile next. So we're gonna start off with Chile. A little bit of their team info. They are led by Sunazuka Akira. They got some team members of Shoto, Chrono Z, and Vyasel. Now this is a tighter team, so I am curious to kind of see what they do with that. And it sounds like we got quite a few fans in the chat here, so that's pretty exciting. But we're also gonna have to check out our team Indonesia too, which I am pretty excited for. We got one of my favorites, Fedora. I'm not biased. Anyway, we got Team Azrael's team. We got NBA Youngboy, Fedora, Ariel, Araron, and Songak here. So, what do you guys think?
Okay, so I guess in terms of names known, I feel like Chile has one familiar name, the captain. Indonesia, I know Azrael and I know Fedora. Yeah, Fedora had been around a decent bit. Azrael also collabed a lot. So yeah, this pick'em not super surprising. It looks like the crowd also agrees that it's just like, all right, bigger names, higher chances. So Yeah, I don't know. That seems like it makes sense to me.
And I think that these.
Which one's seated higher?
I don't know. I don't remember the seeds. I do see that Indonesia did pretty well on the pick'em so far, and we're going to see how they wrap up on the chat here in a little bit. Now, as for the seeding, I don't remember. That being said, I hope y'all know who you're rooting for, because we're going to start off by checking out Team Indonesia's entry here.
Again, kind of already nailing that intro. So this is already just like, you can tell they're not slouches, I guess. I've always said that the mark of experienced mappers are how they handle their slow sections. And, you know, it's like, we just saw the Thailand entry, and compared to this, it's like night and day to me. This team is definitely a lot better about how to handle pacing in these slow sections, how to choose rhythms, etc., etc. Get something expressive while not going
Boring.
overkill.
It's very hard to make it, like, fit the song and not be boring when it comes to parts like this.
Yeah. And again, on this song, it's like you can't work on this song unless you're confident that your slow section game is on point, I think.
Gotta say, I really enjoy how they handled slider velocity throughout this intro. These aren't usually the kind of sliders you usually see, like, in bigger and smaller pairs. But they did some really interesting things with forcing the player to snap around on this one.
Yeah, I'd say though, it's like, they don't handle the, like, wub parts themselves as good. Like, I think that this would benefit a lot more from some just stronger SVs, like, scattered throughout the chorus, because kind of everything blends together movement-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still solid execution, and it takes a sharp eye to notice, but it does kind of blur together in those, like, calmer sections. Or, I'm sorry, the more intense section. Yeah. Yeah, these circle patterns are speaking to my heart a bit, but it also kind of feels a little out of place, because it's a pretty high amount of difficulty compared to the prior part, despite the song not changing too much, so, mixed. That's kind of where I feel.
This is my favorite part, by far.
Yeah, alright, whoever mapped
They
this
nailed
actually
this.
cooked. This is probably the best, like, second drop out of all the entries I saw. Yeah, no, this is really good. I remember just watching this, like,
What are those
wow,
1-8
like,
sliders?
They're cute. They're small. They're innocent little baby sliders.
Oh, they're small, alright, okay.
And that was Indonesia's entry. Let's check out Chile's.
Alright. Let's see. I'd say I'm like 50-50 on the rhythm of this section in general. These sliders are also kind of nuts. For how calm the side, like the song is, but. All right. I think I'm
I love
remembering
the
this.
visual design on this one. Although the Halo stuff definitely made a comeback.
Yeah, the halos are there. Holy shit, this one goes kind of crazy. You can tell this team is just a lot more of a fan of higher SVs in general. Like you had the high SVs in the intro, so it makes sense for the high SV chorus. I don't know if I think it's as fitting. Like, so in some senses it's fitting, and then I'd say when it gets to more intense sections, it might be a bit much. So
I'm not too sure how I feel about that, honestly. A lot of that just did not feel like it fit the song, and the hit sounds took away from what the song was actually doing.
yes, that's also my read on that.
Like, dude, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing?
Wait, was
Set
that
the
a
SV a little
Discord
lower.
sound? You guys are evil.
What?
They had a Discord pig in there. Anyway, I am personally really impressed by how they kept up the consistency of the visual language in this one between 4 different mappers.
Oh yeah, actually, that's true. Like all of these guys were definitely drinking the same Kool-Aid. There's no way around that. Like, it's like, all right, y'all all agreed on like fucking apricot Kool-Aid or something. Like, and you just went for it. Like, good pop off king. Okay, what are these hit downs though? Like, I think I prefer Taiwan trolling. Like.
So if some people were wondering why you couldn't hear the song, it's because we wanted... This song is just legitimately a little bit quieter than the other ones we had for this round, and we wanted the hit sounds to be audible so that you can tell that all this trolling is not in the song.
All right,
Yeah.
this is four boys in a Discord. You know, it's like Friday night. They got the soundboards out. They're going to town, and it stayed Friday through the entire time they were making that entry. Holy crap!
That is an image.
Hey!
That is quite an image. So between Chile and Indonesia, let's see how it came out. This was really close
No
round.
way, dude!
This was an incredibly close round. Almost a tie. This is why you have to have an odd number of judges. So we got a 3-4 score here. Chile will be continuing on to the next round. It's pretty crazy here.
All right, honestly, I'm still an Indonesia believer. I think you guys made a better map, but I guess like the judges seem to appreciate how the Chileans just cooked, like in terms of their brains were cooked. All right, anyways, congrats, guys.
We love memes.
Yeah, we love memes. That's my response to this. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Huge congrats to both teams on a really strong showing in competition on this one. This was a close match. And congratulations to Chile on drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, y'all's apricot Kool-Aid was more of a hit. I thought that was alienating, you know? It's just okay. Anyways, we got more, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 more matchups. So next up, we're gonna be checking out Philippines versus France. So we got Team Philippines here, led by Aknoze. We got Flake, Onagai, iPhoenix, Harutachi, and Lay Candy. And they...
Alright, I know Flake and Lay Candy.
Yeah, that's already a pretty strong list here. iPhoenix and Onagai and everything. So, between them, I think they got some pretty strong powerhouses here. But that being said, up against France with Blackie Design, Time Vid, Pisapo, Yumerios, Nozuchi, and Levi. So...
Okay. Alright, that's gonna be tough. Like, okay, Pisapu is, like, slept on, eternally, or at least he was when I first saw his name. Nozuchi, like, also really strong, really slept on in general. Like, this is gonna be a match, I hope.
And you have designers in this team too, so what they do with visuals, I'm curious, and I'm curious how they're going to balance that with the gameplay. So, for your predictions so far, it's a pretty strong favoritism for France here, but it is, all things considered, somewhat a relatively even matchup so far, with 35% hoping for Philippines' success. Now, for the chat there, let's see how you guys are thinking. I have pretty mixed opinions in here, too. Now, as for the songs...
I'm putting my bag with the French this time.
All that design muscle is going to pay off. Trust.
I trust in Nozuchi and Pisapu.
So, with that being said, let's check out Team Philippines' entry here first.
Damn, the hit sounds are really bad now. They're so noticeably desynced. This client is crazy.
Yeah. I'd say this entry actually has pretty strong like filler parts, where it's actually forcing the player to pause and kind of like deal with when the like vocals kind of fade out and it's just the instruments. So I find that pretty nice. They kind of keep that pace through even when it gets intense, which is also kind of cool. It's just generally looks like a lot of thought was given to just how they wanted this thing to play, even just from the get-go. But some of these sliders, I don't know, man. Like the slider fill on this kind of gets insane. I don't know if they needed this much 1/8 to be effective, but yeah. So it's like on one hand you had really cool movement. On the other hand, you put too many 1/8 sliders. Like
They definitely gave a lot of attentions to the drum line in this entry. Kind of makes me want to see a on that.
Maybe a little much. So like, I mean, so it's good. Like I actually like the attention that they gave. Like this is actually pretty strong. But oh man, I'm just like wow.
Especially in a song where like the vocal layer is so slow paced, but the general intensity is really high. Now, they, in my opinion, they nailed the piano solo. I love piano.
I think the rhythm is good. I think they could have gotten a lot more creative with the actual stream design. Generally, I think they started off with too high of like a bass spacing, so they weren't able to contrast as effectively. But I think it's just like, again, they knew what they were doing with the rhythm. They were listening to the song. Like, they tried some things that didn't work. They tried out some things that did work. That's kind of, it's a mixed bag. So it's like, I'd say this is an ideas pick more than anything, and then I'd probably drop them in execution if I was judging. So. This section's really cool. You gotta have a lot of gall to pull this stuff with. Yeah, you gotta. Whoever did this knows how sliders work. That's for sure. Like, this usage of slow sliders is hard to pull off effectively. So, good job.
It's really a force control of the player's movement there. So that was Team Philippines entry. Pretty experimental. Lots of interesting places to go for, and more places that they could expand on too. And next up, we will be checking out Team France. Designer team, here we go.
Yeah, alright. I think my impression of this one was it's a generally safe pick. I'm not seeing too many risks taken here. It's just like an overall solid map. Like this is the type of thing so far that it's just, this thing gets ranked, no one bats an eye. It's like, yeah, it's a pretty good map. Like people would play it. And that's about it. More or less sticking with that as well. Oh.
I can see this one being in ranked tomorrow.
So these types of maps, I don't know if this has changed in the contest meta in the past couple of years, but usually if it's a map like this against a a map like Philippines, this one wins every time. Usually it's like the categories have been structured in ways that the safer, solid entry beats the like one that has some good ideas and then flops in a lot of places. So this is a, although I would not like readily ever pick this as like my favorite entry, I think this one has a higher odds of winning.
And a lot of fun to it too.
Yeah, like it's a good and effective map. Like don't get me wrong, just not interesting.
I gotta say, I appreciate the detail that they gave to the hit sound, because most of it sounds pretty nice, just regular drums to accentuate everything, but they do have some deeper ones that I'm not entirely sure carried through to the stream because they were so low pitched. But this is definitely one that you guys should also check out, especially those doubles. Good luck hitting those.
Also, this is so big contrast. This is where their attention to detail went. I think this piano section is much better than a Philippines entry. Whereas that one felt a bit flat and just too like everything was too high at same intensity. This one was just much more dynamic. They took advantage of lower spacing on average so that the space sections actually stood out. So good execution.
And they were just waiting to go crazy
good
on the guitar solo here.
Restrained, crazy, but it's still nice. Like I don't know if like anyone could be upset if this won and beat like the other one, even if the other one took more risks. That's kind of what I think here. And usually anyone is usually me being upset, so I don't think I'm upset if this one wins.
Well, we have Happy's guess, but that being said, we just checked out Philippines and France. Let's see how they weigh up with our judges. So, yeah. Nice work to both teams. France won out with 5. Philippines managed to win the favor of 2 of the judges here. They had a pretty good showing for both of them. Nice work for France. Nice work on your hit sounds. Nice work on your overall structure here. And if you like both maps, make sure to check them out when they're uploaded. And we will see some more of France again in the next round too. So, let's see what they cook next, right?
Yep.
All right, so the next matchup we're going to check out is Argentina and Japan. So this is a really interesting matchup that some of the commentators were surprised by earlier in their chat. They were like, that's a crazy combo. So we got Argentina here led by Megafan with Maestro Splinter, Lynx, Aspix, and Slina. Hopefully it's...
I've seen these names before.
Yes.
Oh man, like Maestro Splinter, I think he was one of the core reasons why Argentina won one of the prior OBWCs. And then Megafan, prolific at this point through like definitely the tournament scene. I guess maybe he's just done contests too. I haven't kept up with his past couple years as much, but yeah, he's been around. Don't know the others, so.
Well, if you're gonna get to know him, and it's gonna be pretty good in that case. And then on Japan's team, we got 0047, Koguma X, Lavila, Ring, Dectopia, and Ro16.
What?
That's pretty
Hold on,
stacked.
wait, what? Okay,
Bro just found out Ro16's on the Japan team. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What?
That's what happens when you miss qualifiers.
I know Dectopia, former tourney player, been mapping a lot past couple years. We met up, cool guy. Ring, also old name, like comes back like out of the woodworks every now and then. Kogumo X, does basically put Elvis to shame for a while. Like, yeah, I know these guys. This is a pretty strong team. Like, good luck Argentina. Like, this is probably cooked. Like, pick up, yeah. I agree.
Nearly 50-50, guys. This could go either way.
I agree. I'm like, there's no way. I can't even choose. I'm like, oh, okay, Chad agrees. Good. So, this is cooked. This is cooked, chat. Like, this is made up.
And Maestro Splinter's apologizing for the hit sounds, so that means we have a lot to look forward to. So.
There's no way y'all are beating Chile's griefing, like, just straight up.
True. So we will actually start off with Argentina's entry for this matchup. So let's see.
And it's on this song, huh? So again, it's like at this point, it's like anytime I see this song played, I'm like, we're gonna have a good match. And I think this is the last one actually, since this has come up twice already. But yeah, this is again pretty hard song. Argentina, like, kind of knew them in the past for Spectacle. Looks like they haven't really shifted on that. It's where visual appeal really takes the cake here, kind of like what Canada's strategy was, and that tends to still work for a lot of judges. It's just a matter of can you maintain that without like griefing too much of the song representative aspects. I think the balance is okay here. This is like a alright execution, but it probably adds a lot for creativity on on quite a few judges. So that's general trade. See, the thing is, like, at least I'm always able to tell which ones these are because these crosses, like, you'll see these crosses, all this like Christian imagery, like throughout all of their maps. It was the same as Space Angel way back when. It's the same here, like, and the halos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is where, like, again, I would dock execution hard on this. Like, these sliders are kind of nonsense. Not because of their shapes. Not because of their design, I'd say, but just because the way when you factor in leniency, the movement kind of goes all over the place. Like, you saw a lot that had this concerted, like, push-pull sort of thing going on with moving between objects. You don't really have that here. And anime girls are screaming at me, so.
That's my favorite genre of hit sounds. Not actually.
Okay, guys. Please, like. Okay, so basically this is a matter of taste, is how I would put this. I think most judges can see what Argentina is doing. It's hard to say that this isn't a competently made entry. It's just a matter of whether you jive with the style or not, I think.
See some of these guys make a music video.
Yeah, like, some of y'all might have a better future in storyboarding than this, like. Alright,
I do like that they're taking ideas and just pushing them, like, as far as it can go in this scenario.
Yeah. I think the design risks on overlap are really, like, they'll probably land a lot of points with the judges. Like, they were, I think, pretty solid in general. So it's like, if you go for this style, it's nice to see some originality, and I definitely saw that with this. So it's good.
It's definitely not meant for playing.
I'm like, I don't know if I'd ever endorse this pick, but it's a viable entry for sure. Like, it could. I gotta see what Japan is cooked.
All right, let's check out Japan then. Both pretty stacked teams, so we'll see how they kind of measure up on this scenario.
Okay, this is a really good slow section, just in general. I'd say it's a bit safe in that it plays too much towards the center, which is probably something we see a lot in this entry in general. I find that, like, maps are a lot worse when they try to treat the center as gospel like this one does, because everything just kind of goes out to the sides and then comes back in.
The way they play around with forcing that is pretty interesting, though. Especially when they're able to, like, guide the slider ends into the center, too. I'm curious if they'll kind of branch away from that idea later on.
Yeah. But yeah, hard not to say that it like this is a pretty solid slow section in general. I'd say I prefer it to Argentina's.
Now let's see how they handle it as the song heats up here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd say it's a pretty safe way to do this. I think I remember looking at this, and judges probably agree of like a little disappointing because when you set up the slow section like you did, you actually have an opportunity to make some huge contrast. But it was actually a pretty safe section overall. And I think you can see this is one of the lower star rating entries as well. They didn't really push much on the mechanics. They could have pushed a lot more. And I think it really hurt them in the chorus. So it's just like an overall competent entry, didn't take much risks in the chorus. It's looking like, it looks like, I think I prefer the Argentina one over that, so.
Oh, there's a Dorchatas.
Oh, I did not even notice that.
You know, it took me until now to figure out the reason why Argentina and now Japan have bone-shaped sliders is because of the Undertale reference, but yeah, it took me a second on that one, guys.
Is this an Undertale song?
No, there's just a random sample.
Are we still hooked on Sans or whatever? Come on, guys, we're on Deltarune now. Like, we start making some, like, Chris and Susie and, like, Ralsei jokes or whatever?
No.
Come on. Okay.
Now this part, I wish they brought out some more of this kind of aggression into their rhythm a little bit earlier, because this, I think they did pretty nicely with. Even if some of the sliders are like,
Okay. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna guess, Argentina 5-2.
well,
I have numbers this time.
you guys might be surprised by this one. I set up the stream, so technically I know in my heart and my soul. But this was another really close round.
Wow! Okay, wow! I guess the judges saw something I did not. So...
The general
Wow.
trend is Argentina really pushed more, and Japan had a stronger setup, but was a little bit conservative. So depending on who you asked, their opinion ended up pretty varied, but...
Oh, yeah, wow. So I did say something like this earlier, of, you know, the solid execution, safer entries are usually rewarded in judging, and here's, I guess, the extreme effect of that, of, like, one took, like, risks and, you know, was a little much, and then this one was, took no risks and was underwhelming, and and it still won, so I'm like, okay. Yeah, definitely not a decisive one, though, it's just, wow. Well, congrats to Japan, so.
Huge congrats to Japan, but nice work to both of y'all. We'll see y'all's maps soon. In Japan, we'll see you again in the next round. So, with that being said, that was our Argentina and Japan matchup. Next up, we're going to be checking out Germany and United Kingdom, which is a very kind of stacked lineup, especially when you remember Germany was one of the few teams that had multiple different teams in the qualifiers to go with. So, we got Lulu's team here with 0PP and Osu, Kojio, Slifer, Inslider, and Basuso.
Well, I know like half of this team, and for reasons, TM. Yeah, I mean, Lulu, 0PP, Bazuzo, like, I've seen these guys all around. Yeah. Okay.
And they're going to be up against the United Kingdom here, led by 7VII. I hope that wasn't Roman numerals. Devious Panda, Yusomi, Ishtiak, Pseudonomus, and The Cube.
Yeah, I know this entire team except for the captain. Who's this captain? Like, did they rename? Like,
Probably.
okay, well, these guys are mapping competition, like, veterans in general. They've been all over the place for years. Like, yeah, it's gonna be good luck. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty heated match, I think.
I'm excited to see the Devious Panda come back on this one. I'll say that.
I wonder how many of his parts he finished.
That's a good question. Now,
If he finished the parts, they're quality. If he didn't, well,
there's
we'll
a lot of
see.
other strong
that's kind
mappers
of what
on
I
the
say.
team.
Like a lot of the team is just like Ishtiak probably pulled some all-nighters. He's used to that. Like that's kind of what I got there. So
You can see it in your mind's eye, how they mapped this, how they
So-
worked in this team.
yeah. So basically, my thoughts here are just like I have faith in Panda's abilities. I don't have faith that he actually mapped, and then you know the rest of the team is strong, so they'll figure out a way regardless. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Pick'em seem to agree that this is a very strong UK team. So let's see it.
Let's check it out. We're going to be starting off with UK's entry for this one.
All right. Oh no way! This entry.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I think this is my favorite entry. This is a CS5 entry. Takes quite a few risks with that. And this one pops off. I almost don't even want to like talk about this because this is probably my favorite entry of the entire contest. If you want to talk about like risks, like this is a risks entry, even though we don't see that yet. That's overall though really solid in execution because even here like you can't tell that they're gonna pop off. You just like yeah, it's just a map. Like it's got some like push pull. The slow slider usage is extremely good. Like if I was judging this contest, like this would already be like top for creativity and execution. Just class act. 1/3 section popping off right there. Very hard. Not friendly but fun. So oh man. I just love this one.
This is one of the entries where sometimes it's really impressive to remember what kind of schedule everybody's mapping these on. Like, you don't have that much time to develop these maps, and you're just going all in.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they mapped it
I
like this
am
song.
wishing this team the best because, like, so far, still nailing it. Like, it doesn't, again, it's not super interesting yet because it shouldn't be. Like, the song is not that crazy. But these, like, these, like, slow sliders with pauses in between fit the cymbals extremely well. Here we're in the, like, piano section. They just go. They do not stop. Like, look at this. Oh, my God. Back and forth. All right, that's a very 2025 pattern, but, you know, we take those.
I'll be patiently waiting for Fiery's SS score on this.
I'm a kid in a
no
candy
lock
store on
skill
this.
issue.
No, I'm a kid in a candy store on this one. This is what I want to see in my maps. Y'all make it
That
on
was
this
nice.
round, like, I'm gonna be so happy. This is the type of thing that used to, like, get you, like, middle of the board, because you divided the judges almost all the time on mapping contests. So if this wins, I'm gonna be really happy.
Now this
Yeah,
part
just
is
really good handling of
hard.
the third. I love
Nice
it though.
outro,
It's so
though.
good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the fucking anonymized name had a leak there. I didn't even know. What? Like Cherry Eggplant Panda? Come on.
That is a crazy thing to say. I don't know. Yeah, how did it end up with Panda? There was another entry that had Panda in their anonymized name too, so you guys will see that
You would
later.
never expect it, so it was a brilliant anonymization, but it was just funny. Like
All right, next up, we're gonna check out Germany's entry here. Now, this is a very well-rounded team, so I'm curious to see how they kind of divided everything up here. Because the song has a lot of really distinct hard parts.
Okay, kind of off the bat, they seem to understand the, like, pace of this song, in a similar way that the UK team did, but they kind of went with a different approach every time the same sorts of, like, things in the song came up. Like, this map is, I feel like, just drastically transformed across, like, who knows how many part switches, and it's kind of going crazy on some of these slider transitions.
Whoa, was that a hit sound? They really put in the heavenly aura for the angel slider.
Yeah, I think this is just a much more in-your-face entry in general. It just will hit you with these, like, full-screen sliders, when it gets a chance.
What I find interesting about how they use those really huge sliders is kind of how they lean into them kind of slowly so that you are fully aiming them until you get to the animated ones. Which overall, just... I'm impressed with how they designed everything else around them.
Oh no, this is the one with all the crosses. I'm like, this is the one I thought was an Argentina entry.
This is the Jesus entry.
Yeah. Alright, I don't know about this piano solo, guys. Like, it's like you cook that hard on the sliders and then you do this, like, simple curved streams for, yeah, no.
I think that's something that works really well because you have to be executing so much more rhythm control, and it's just like, here, just focus on the circles. Oh.
That's my reaction to that. I don't know what that one was. I feel like that there was a slider with like a wing attached across there. I'm like, holy shit! Like,
yeah.
Even the bats are turning into Jesus. Like, all right, wait. What was the theme of this song? Like, is this? Oh, my savior. I get it. Okay, got it. All right, that makes sense. You got Germany definitely got me. I'm like, I get it. I get it now.
You get it.
Yeah.
So that was Germany and United Kingdom's entries here, and they were both really interesting executions of this song. So thank you all for mapping Vocaloid songs. I look forward to playing them again more. We're gonna check out the ranking here. So we did get United Kingdom to Germany 5-2.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, UK just blew this out of the water. So just that's kind of what I think. It's just it almost didn't even look close. Yeah. Just yeah. I don't have much more to say on that. I'm like I feel like I was gushing over the entry the entire time we were talking about it.
You were glazing. So. Yeah, you were glazing.
Yeah, no. This is they did it. They did it.
So congratulations to the United Kingdom. I hope to see Germany's map again soon. We do have quite a few judges with a variety of taste here, and I think they both did pretty strong maps. So honestly, this whole leaderboard for this entire World Cup is overly stacked. With that being said, we're going to be checking out our last matchup of the day, United States versus Poland. So for the United States here, we have the really long name that I don't know how to pronounce, 6px. 6px's team, we got Wow, Pandize, Fear, and Weoeat.
I know some of these. Let's see. Weoeat, probably the one I think of the most. Pandize, haven't seen them in a long time, actually. They mapped probably like I feel like more than 5 years ago. I don't know the captain, and I'm not searching that, so it looks like a password generator password as a username. So
they've been around lately and they've been making some pretty cool stuff, so I'm curious to see how that's gonna go too, especially when we had multiple United States teams originally, if I remember right. So, as a United States person, I hope the best for them.
Yeah.
And they will be up against Poland, led by Olsen with Mr. Terror, Kuki 1537, Pajwaj, and Wiwit. And Wheelie and Wiwit are two similar names.
What is this team? That's like, I know the names and I'm like, this is, you want to talk about like you know, Nightmare Blunt rotation, this is the one. Like, what? Like,
This is
what
awesome.
is going on here? Okay, all right, we got to see what they cooked.
Now, for what everybody's predictions are, you know, this was the only pick'em that had an even percentage, so I just put a 0.0 so it might line up nicely with all the others. How's the chat feeling about this one? I feel like I'm seeing quite a lot of Poland support here. And copy pastas. You know what? I don't think that counts. Oh no, I just made it stronger. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much to say. Poland's team, like, I know the names. I haven't seen most of them, like, do really contest stuff. I have a little bit more trust in the names I do know from the US side for that. So yeah, we'll just see what they do.
Location bias here. Location bias. But we'll start off with the United States' entry. So you can already tell from the spinner which song it is.
Yeah, this one, I'm trying to remember. A lot of these entries kind of blurred the same, blurred together because I'm gonna map this section the same way. It's like side trends part. So, there's that halo again though. The halos are in every entry.
I guess I raced them too hard last time.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard sort of map for this, I guess. There's sounds, they are mapping them. There's lots of sounds for streams, so we see lots of streams. Put some sliders in between, and yep, that's the map. I don't actually have much more to say on this. It's like kind of standard fare tech-ish map. Those sliders look like keys. That's cool, I guess.
Now this is an entry I think paid a lot of attention to the overall pattern design more than anything in a really nice way. Like, you know, actually making everything interlock together. Now, however, I could see a lot of people note walking through the streams or shit missing on the kick sliders. So this is a really rough map to play through.
I think it's pretty cohesive and actually just generally safe. Actually,
yeah. On the contrary, I was about to say this is actually not really that bad to play through. I don't know what the hell Otto missed on there. That just looked like a normal ass pattern to me, but
Otto has a skill issue.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good though.
Yeah, it's alright. This is probably a safe bet.
Now there are some parts here where I feel like the hit sound map do go a little bit hard on the drums in particular, and I feel like they could have brought out some more of those higher synths. But the way this flows overall, pretty nice. They do have a good handle on making the map change over time, despite the song being one of the more static ones of this round. I don't know what that ending slider was supposed to be, but it looks cool. And that was our United States entry here. Next up, we're gonna check out Poland's and see how they tackled the same song.
Okay, they looks like they're even going for safer almost. Like, holy crap! I mean, it's just the calm section, but still.
Trust the process here.
Oh, now I remember. This is the one that like kind of goes space streams the whole map.
Yep.
Actually, no. This part's actually pretty good for the side trend. And it's more interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Poland seems to be kind of nailing it actually on the side trans part. Got anything to go off of? I think it's like the US is safer but less expressive, even if it's like cohesive, because they kind of just do the same thing all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
This one I feel like is paying a lot more attention to the details, like you guys see in their stream design. I don't know, good.
This is definitely one where you gotta trust the process and let them cook, because the sectioning here, pretty good.
At this point, I'm rooting for an upset. Like, if this is the upset that happens, like I'm kind of good with that actually. We just gotta see how they do in the end part, because I can't remember what they did at the end here. So. Okay, like, not the most like crazy thing I've seen, but it's pretty innovative. Rather, it's pretty solid, not innovative. Just like wubby chorus at the end. Okay, so basically my comparison here is, I'd say if I was rating these, the US entry is better at it's more cohesive. But I'd say worst overall execution because it lacks a lot of contrast to make up for all that cohesion. And then this entry just has much better like fundamentals. So I think relevance is higher on here, whereas cohesion would be higher on the other one. Creativity is about the same. I don't think either of them are doing anything really new or stand out.
I'm curious how they would have done on the other songs, but that was our United States and Poland matchup. We have some pretty vocal supporters for both sides on this one. Now, as for the results of this matchup, well, we got United States
that lopsided. What the
Poland 6-1.
Wow. I don't know what y'all were thinking, but it's okay. It's mapping. We have opinions. Yeah. Okay. Well, I like Poland's entry more, so
Give myself an extra point to Poland, but we'll see some more of them again, whatever projects they may take on. And United States, we will see again in the next round. So, with that being said, we will have a VOD up later on YouTube, so make sure to check that out if you want to see these entries again. They should be uploading them later. And that was United States and Poland. So, with that being said, that has been our round of 16, 8 matchups, 8 victors. They will be continuing on into the next round. We'll get to see how their maps turn out on the next one too. And I don't know how these judges are supposed to pick sometimes, honestly. There are a lot of really close entries here, but great work to all of the mappers. And thank you everybody for tuning in today to check out this stream. Check out everybody's work. I hope y'all have had a good time. And that's all from me. If we have any closing comments from Mr. Halfslashed or Mr. Fieryrage here.
yeah, no, Fiery, go lay down, man. And yeah,
Please pray for me.
So, yeah.
Good luck, Fiery. And for any future news about the next rounds, the first place you're probably going to see it is in the Discord, so make sure to hop on in there. And you can check out the wiki page too for how all those are turning out. make sure to put in your pick'ems. Make sure to check out your favorite teams. Make sure to favorite their beat maps. And hope y'all have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Yep.